round you used to only take running backs. Now you're seeing receivers getting picked with running backs. Why do you think that's happening?
I think the biggest cause is that the league is getting more pass happy. Whereas years past, you knew if you had a decent running back, he was going to get 15, 20, 25 carries a game, and you could pretty much bank on those points. Now, there's more passing, it seems like, in the league than there is rushing, and especially if a team gets behind, they pass, and you're in deep trouble. That's why a lot of people are trying to pick running backs that are as good as receivers. You know, most of them are they're basically a receiver in the backfield. But I think receivers are scoring just as many points or more as a lot of the good running backs now, and that's why you see that happening.
And do you also think that they're becoming more committee running backs?
Absolutely. That's the biggest. If you don't have the stud of the league or one of the top three, they have two. Each team has 2 or 3 running backs, and they just basically go with the hot hand for the day. If one running back gets hot, they feed him the ball, and your guy may not get a carry. He may go from 15 carries, 20 carries one game to 2 or 3 the next, and you're in trouble. So that's why.
Why do you think rookies are getting drafted higher than they normally were in the past?
Well, I think in years past, the teams did not trust rookies. They would not draft a rookie and stick him in the lineup. They would draft them, keep them on the bench a year or two, especially quarterbacks, running backs. They show them the offense for a year or two before they'd stick them out there. Now they draft them straight out of college and stick them in the lineup. But I think a lot of the quarterbacks in college are running the same type of style offense as a lot of the NFL, so they're pretty much ready now where they weren't in the past. But I think it's, you know, they want to win, and they draft and they stick them in there, and they don't care anymore.
For a rookie to start their rookie year, would it take an injury for them to start?
Not always. They draft them straight out, and even if they have a decent person and they think they're better, they're going to stick them in the lineup. You know, years past, yeah, you would have to wait for the people ahead of them to get injured for them to see the field. Now that's not the case anymore. They're going to stick them out there. They really don't care.
Who are some of your better picks you've had?
My favorite pick is DeMarco Murray. I picked him in the 3rd round. This is the first year I ever was in a fantasy league, and he just went off. He was my most consistent rusher. He got points every week, just over and over again. Then I picked him my 2nd year, and I picked him higher the 2nd year. I think I picked him in probably the 1st round, and he went off again, went for close to 2,000 yards, and he was just a stud of the team. I also, it's kind of crazy, but Justin Tucker, kicker, I try to get him every year. He's so consistent. He hardly misses. He can kick that 55, 60 yarder in a game. And in my leagues, kickers get a lot of points. And so sometimes you can win on a kicker, which is kind of crazy to me, but it happens. Also, I fell in love with Greg Olsen, tight end, because it seems like I never could get Gronk, because he went in the 1st round or the 2nd round at least, and I could pick Olsen. And Olsen wasn't quite a Gronk, but he was very good. He was a step above anybody else in the league at that time. Now, unfortunately, he's at the end of his career. But I picked Olsen probably 5 years straight, and he was just a great pick. When you have one tight end on your team and you get a good one, you just heads up above everybody else in the league. So I love Greg Olsen.
Yeah, you need a good tight end. There's not very many.
There's not very many. Nope.
And who were some of your worst picks?
Probably my worst pick was Odell Beckham. I picked him in the 1st round. I had a late round pick, and I'm a running back person, but I went with Odell and got him in the 1st round, and he broke his ankle early in the season, and it just killed me. I mean, it's hard to recover when your 1st round pick goes out, especially early in the year like that, because you just can't replace those points. You can't pick anybody up that's going to get you those points. You're almost guaranteed that 1st round pick's going to get you so many points a game, and when they go out, you're in deep trouble. Probably And that wasn't a bad pick. It was just injury. Probably my worst pick, thinking about it, was Melvin Gordon, because I took him in the first round, his rookie year. Everybody was so high on him. All the analysts said, you got to have this guy, you got to have him. And he tanked. He did not do anything for me. And he just killed me. Same thing. And then the following year, he went off and ended up being one of the best running back, picks in the league. And I just picked him 1 year too early. And he tanked for me. So
I remember that. I picked him the next year, and you said, one season too early.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, they're not on this board because they were still in college. And this is our family league, the first one we ever did. You won the first 2 years of this league, dating back to this board. Why? How does it feel?
It felt great. It's just bragging rights, especially when you're in a family league. If you can take that belt, it's great. And I had it for 2 years, and I haven't won it in quite a few years, so I'm shooting for it this year.
Well, hopefully you can win. Hopefully I can win this year.
Bragging rights are nice.